Hey everybody, cheers, good morning. Oh, I got a message. Sign into chat on the bottom of the chat capture window. That's interesting. I've not seen that before. Has anyone noticed that before? Just above my logo, it says sign into chat. Oh well. I wonder if I can just move that down and hide it. There we go. How's that? Look at those skills, except there's a bit of black sticking out the side. Can't have that. Okay. How's that? Cheers, everyone. Good morning. So, wowza, I woke this morning to the biggest headache. I apologize. I didn't want to cancel my stream, but I have an absolutely pounding head right now. I don't know why. I've taken Panadol, paracetamol, whatever it's called in the rest of the world, and yeah, hopefully it'll settle down. I don't know what it is. It's super cold here. I left my gloves at home by accident, but I've got multiple layers on, trying to get my fingers going, and on my second coffee for the day. Yay! So hope everyone's having a better day than me so far, especially the Aussies who are also suffering in the cold. And there's a few of you here already this morning. AJ's here, pew pew pew. Matt's here. Morning. Graham's here. Lots of Aussies turning out this cold morning. Crazy. So I'm just going to ramble a bit while people come on still, while the numbers go up. But as the thumbnail says, I am SQUIXL'd out in every possible way. Every possible way. It has been absolute marathon since last Wednesday. It honestly, it's only been a week and it feels like 3 weeks. I just had a week of absolute insanity. For so many reasons. I'll go through them. I'll give you all a nice little, I was going to say bitchy moany rant, but it's not really. It's 100% self-inflicted, except for the battery stuff. Well, the battery and shipping, that's going to be a rant. Did I fix the shipment? Did I fix it? I mean, I've shipped out to everyone. Every person that's ordered a SQUIX'L, including batch 2, they've all shipped. Except for one person who asked me to wait for shipping because they've had to go away for a couple of weeks. They don't want me to ship them until they get back. So I've got theirs sitting here on the floor, but otherwise everyone's SQUIX'Ls shipped, batch 1 and 2. But it did not go without some dramas, and none of the international people have got theirs yet, so I don't even know if they're going to get them. We'll see what happens. I'll go into it in a moment. I will, I promise. I'm just sitting here fidgeting with screws and nuts and standoffs, which I just found on my floor. So I just picked them up and then I didn't get a chance to put them away. Anyway, I'll put them to the side. I'll stop fidgeting. Okay, a couple more minutes. The numbers are slowly going up. When we get to 30, I'll say hi to folks in the chat. Not many people chatting though. Not compared to the number of people there are watching. That's it. Come and say hi in the chat. If you're new, say hi. And if you're not new, still say hi. Yeah. Wow. Alan's saying hi, but you already chatted. Or that's something else. I don't know. Right, Daddy's busy drinking coffee. Doesn't have time to say hi. That's okay. Okay, I'm gonna just whatever numbers, and say hi to people. So Alan, good morning. Johnny, hello. Graham, hello. Oh, poor Graham. Touch Taurus, hi. Fat Boys Aviation, hello. David Esser, hi. Beata, hello. Squeak. Life in Cycling, moo. AJ, yep. Pew pew, always with the lasers. Pew pew pew. God, we're like kids, aren't we? Johnny, hi. Didier, hello. Been a while. Pro Engineer, Matt, yep, good morning. Good to see you, good morning. Mr. England is here. Moo made it. Antonio, hi. Christian is here. Hello, Christian. X-Micron, hello. Ben Jones, good morning. Sid is here. Hello, Sid. Can't stay long on mobile. Don't chew your mobile data. I'm the last reason you should chew your mobile data. But nice to see you. We'll see your name. Yes, I'm going to be living off coffee today. Injected into my veins. I'm glad I didn't wait for 30 concurrent people because it's been jumping around between... Oh, it just jumped to 32. Well, there you go. It's been going between 27 and 29 back and forwards. Can anyone else hear a dripping sound? It could be the printer. Hey, Flowrider65. I have a very much hate. Love, hate. No, that's not enough hate. Love, hate relationship with bamboo refill filament. I have to say, I try to only buy their refill filaments, not buy them with a new spool, because I have so many spools here, and I try to reuse. Like, I don't like the wastage. I really don't. But I'm just sick to death of how badly they wind their refill filament. So I started a 7-hour print last night before I left. This is on the same reel that I'd run 2 7-hour ones before. It was a brand new reel on the first 7-hour one. So 21 hours of printing off this one spool, which is almost finished now. And last night, 20% into the print, it got jammed, came in this morning, and it's just been sitting there for like, I don't know, 8 hours, however long, just waiting for me to unjam the thing. And the filament was caught in and underneath. Like, I really had, I thought I was going to break the filament. That's how much it was caught when they'd wound it. It was, anyway, happens all the time. It's happened a lot with the SQUIX'L printing. I've had to do a lot of printing, obviously. And I actually said to Yaz last weekend, not the weekend that just passed, the weekend before, I said, I'm done. I can't do overnight prints anymore because I can't trust it. And so, like, I was coming in to the office every 2 or 3 hours when the print was finished so I could come and change it or check it and go back home. And, like, I'm trying to spend time with the family and do some stuff at home, work from home, so I'm not just in the office all the time. And I just can't trust the printer. And not the printer, the filament. It's really bad. So, yeah. So this is the third jam off the one filament reel. Said to replace my logo cable on my X1 after 15k hours. What's a logo cable? 0.2, 0.9. The logo cable. I don't get a chance to dry my filament and keep it in a dry box. At the moment, I've been printing so much. I've gone through 20 something kilograms, almost maybe 25 kilograms of filament in the last 3 weeks. Like, it doesn't get a chance. It gets opened, it goes on, and it's empty in 2 days. Like, it sits in the AMS, and I've got plenty of silica and what, like, as much as I can fit in there and whatever with the thing closed. But for the logo at the front, right, of the thing, I get it. It's just I've had arguments with them before. I actually have returned filament to them before that arrived with the the paper spool in the middle that it's round around was so damaged it couldn't get put onto a reel. Like, it'd just been chewed when it was cut. I don't know, whatever. Like, how they could have sent it that way. And they replaced them. They replaced 5 filament refill reels. So refills. Over. They replaced those because I sent them photos and said, what do you want me to do with these? Like, how am I supposed to install these? Like, I tried on one. I had to get a knife and literally cut out the cardboard to get it onto the thing.
HMS says matte colors for me give me the most grief.
Well, I'm only been printing matte for the last 3 weeks straight. I've had no problems with printing matte at all, actually, to be honest with you. Apart from, I had to raise the print bed a little bit, 5 degrees, just to prevent any warping, because I'm printing on the whole plate. But it's for me, it's the way they wind the reels. It's tangled. It's really frustrating when the printer gets jammed from that and it sits there for 8 hours. And so I don't know if this print's going to be okay or not, because sometimes depending on the height of the print, these are black cases, SQUIXL'd cases I'm printing, so they're not very high. So they don't cool down as much. But with something that's high, like my dock, I had it happen with my dock about halfway up. Where's it? Let me grab it. Hang on. They're all packed. But like this piece here, right? It happened like halfway up. It was far enough off the bed that it wasn't warm enough here anymore. And then when it continued, there was a layer adhesion issue because it cooled too much, and then it put hot plastic back on it. And I ended up losing that whole plate of stuff because it was clearly a weak point through it, and I couldn't ship them. And like I grabbed one and I went like that and it snapped it. So like that was a waste of 300 grams of filament. I can only get three plates of 3 docks out of one spool of filament. It's just frustrating when that happens for no reason. It's not anything else that jams it. It's just bad winding, and you can't tell until you get to it. Like, you can't pre-look at it and go halfway through the reel it's going to get stuck because they twisted the winding. Lots of questions. I'll go backwards. Do I print by object? No, I don't. Because I can't fit enough on the plate. So the area that you got to leave free to do by object is too big. Like I could only, like, so my cases. So this is just a case that was printed yesterday. I haven't put magnets or anything on it yet, right? So I print 4 of these up on the plate at once. If I was to print one at a time, I can only fit one on the bed. If I try to put more than one on the bed, it won't let me do it because the area it needs clear around it to be able to do multi-object is wider. And I've tried shrinking it, and I shrunk it down. Like, you can edit the files, the config files, and I tried shrinking it down And even at 70% of what that area was, I still couldn't fit 4 of these. I couldn't fit more than 1 on the plate. So it's only really good for really narrow style objects. So no, I don't do them one at a time. That would be really helpful, because then, you know, my print time will go up a little bit, but if there's going to be a fail, there's only going to be a fail on one of the parts. But no, can't do it. Maybe with their new, what is it, M2H, whatever it is, maybe that would be big enough that I could fit 4 of them on, but I'm not spending $4,000 on a printer just to be able to print per object. I just want them to do a better job with the filament winding. So I've got another 10 kilograms of matte black being delivered today or tomorrow. Because I'm on my last filament reel now. Anyway, crazy. I've been going through a lot of filament, a lot of black. Everyone's been ordering black. Probably 90% more, 95% of the people that have ordered a SQUIX'L have ordered black. And just as well, poor Graham, so he ordered grey. He got he's in Australia, so he's like, I started shipping the first batch ones on Friday. So I started orders last Wednesday, but the shit hit the fan with Australia Post on Wednesday. We'll get to that, I'll come back to it. And so I ended up not being able to ship any of them until Friday. And Graham got his, I'm not sure when he got his, should have received his Monday, maybe Tuesday. And he ordered a grey one, and there was a bit of, I'm going to be honest, there was discolouring on the back here because of the foam packaging. There's a section of the foam that I don't cut, but I etch into to make it thinner, which supports the back like this to prevent any chance of the power button getting pushed, right? So it's a way, oh, you did it on Monday? Okay, cool. So it's a way, it's literally there to make a free area around the power button, so there's no possible way it could be compressed and turned on, because that's a bad thing if that happens. But it left some discoloring, and I'm really frustrated. Like, I'm frustrated for him because, I mean, it came off. He cleaned it with some IPA and it came right off, right? But I've been blowing, like with my air gun, those areas and then wiping them down with these things, right? Wiping them down to make sure there's no residue on there to discolor. And even doing that, there was still, and that was a quick trip. That was like a 2-day trip from, you know, Friday to Monday for him to get it. I'm worried now about the long haul stuff going overseas. Like, what is it? Maybe it's being in the cargo, like in the aeroplane. Maybe the cold temperature is doing something with that section. So yeah, Johnny's got a pink one coming. I apologize in advance if there's a black smudge on it. Bruce, who's not here at the moment, he'll probably pop in later. He ordered the only white one so far, and I can't imagine what state it's going to come in now. And I have even taken white ones off the store. I'm not going to let people order white because I'm worried now. Like, it's just going to be covered with black crap on it, right? No, don't use acetone. It should just be IPA. It should just come off with it. But that's actually really frustrating. It's frustrating because I clean them. If I hadn't cleaned them, then I could go, oh, Sion, why didn't you clean them? Like, what a bad experience. But I actually cleaned them, every single one of them, with air and with a damp cloth. And it still happened. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to have to change the way I do it. There has to be something there to prevent it being pushed down. Anyway, my only other option is to get some thinner foam, cut that in a circle, and then glue it on. Like, it already... I spent a whole day, so Saturday, last week, no, yes. So I launched last Wednesday, but I spent 2 weeks before that getting things ready for the first batch of orders. So I'd already spent the weekend before last stream, one whole full day, just laser cutting foam. All day, it stank in here just to have enough foam for all of the boxes for the products. Like, it's not like it's 5 seconds worth of work, right? It took me all day, and I ended up running out of boxes and running out of foam, and I've done 2 laser cutting sessions since then. And I haven't even shipped that many SQUIXL'd, really. Like, if you, like, in the scheme of things, like, we're talking, 40 SQUIXL'd. Like, that's a lot of foam cutting, a lot of days spent cutting foam. I need to find a different way of doing it. We use the cling film from JLC shipment. What cling film? What are you talking about? Huh? Yeah, I'm not sending out SQUIXL'd in a sandwich bag. Sorry. Again, going back. It's the printer. We've been hating the squealing for a long time. Yeah, sorry about the printer noise. It should have been finished last night. It shouldn't still be printing, but now you know what it is. Maybe you need that filament re-roller. You might have to re-roll them when they arrive just to make sure that they don't fail. Yeah, that's just a pain in the ass. I shouldn't have had to do that. Anyway, imagine so. Okay, that's why I mentioned it. For me, white vividly causes a lot of stretching. You either get a clog or under extruded. Interesting. I've only printed with the white twice, but didn't have a problem at all. I could wind it onto another reel, but honestly, like, I've got 10 kilos of filament coming in now, and when I need to change it, I need to change it, which means I can't, at the point of having to change it, then go and re-reel it. So I got to suddenly re-reel 10 kilograms of filament just in case there's a. I mean, that's just it. I get it. It's absolutely a solution, but it's ridiculous that I should have to do that. Absolutely ridiculous. I saw the eBay printer you make, whatever the name is, on the crowdfunding site. Looks like a really good. I saw it as well. I thought it was quite interesting, but the catch on them is the cost of the what do you call it? The pigments, the consumables. The cost, you're locked into their consumables right now, and that it's, good luck with the being able to use it post buying it. It's definitely interesting. I was more interested in it from being able to print on the back of PCBs. Like, I want to be able to do full color PCBs, but myself, not JLC or whatever else. Like, I want to be able to, get some panels, right? And before I run them, I want to be able to put UV on them, like whatever. But then I don't know how they're going to reflow. And also, good luck getting a usable invoice if you're a business. Hello, X Conundrum X. You mean from Kickstarter? Can't you download you get a receipt? Like, God, it's been so long since I've done anything on Kickstarter. Is it Kickstarter it's actually on, or something else? What crowdfunding site? Which one is it? Use opposing magnets and have it hover inside the package. Oh, AJ, you are informed today. Informed. So let's talk about shipping batteries. Can we talk about shipping batteries? Well, hang on. Before that, I was not planning on coding today. I'm not going to code today. I've got plenty of coding to do. We got our first PR. You can, but I want to invoice it. But don't they itemize the VAT on it? They have to by law. Hey, Nicholas. Message retracted. I wonder what that was. So we had our first PR, folks. Matt, who already got his. He's also in Australia. He's got a SQUIX'L. He did. Let me. Which one is it? Yay. Okay. I've added lots of features since last time. Since we saw it last time. I'm not going to go through them all. It's okay. One of them, though, is dimming. So you've got actually, I'm going to set the dimming. Look at this. Got all these really cool settings now. I'm still playing around with layout, but this is using an auto layout. I've got the auto layout stuff going. It's wicked. So you can set your time, your UTC offset. Why am I at 14? That's interesting. You've now got backlight dimmer timer for battery mode and for when you're on 5 volts. And you can also tell it to not sleep when it's on 5 volts, but or have it sleep, and then you can also turn that off on battery. So like I was at Electronex the other week and was walking around, it was on battery and it kept going to sleep. I kept having to wake it up. Would have been really cool if I could turn it off at the time. Look at this, tab groups. Look, you see the top? Look, tab groups. So that's another new widget. And I've got, look, oh, why is my country code not set up? That's why it was on 14. I just reflashed. I've been trying to get the web flash tool going, and for some reason, every time I flash with the web tool, which I haven't made public yet, it's corrupting the partition layout and it won't boot. And I can't work out why, but every time I do it, it was erasing the flash, and then when I'd reboot, I'd have to reflash it and I'd lose all my Wi-Fi settings. I'd have to reconnect it and whatever. That could be why my country stuff's not there. Keyboard's working great. Even shows the field you're entering now, whatever. So volume control. Anyway, and even look, I did that last night. Shows the alpha version at the bottom. I made a screenshotting tool, and look at those. This is you got. I'll show it to you in a moment. But what I wanted to show was, now that it won't dim for a while, we had our first PR, folks. Matt did a PR overnight. He's added a /dot RSS feed. So I had the jokes down the bottom. He's added a new one. And I believe, so was it? Delta can sue CrowdStrike, who cares? If you click on it, it'll cycle through. Google's Gemini 2.5 model gains deep think reasoning. Woo! And so, just like with the jokes, you can cycle through them and it'll go and grab more. And so, it's just the first iteration. So, I've already merged it. We're going to push that through. Very cool. So, thank you, Matt, for that. Pro engineer in the chat. We had our first community contribution. Blah, 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 blah. Before we talk batteries, let me, hang on, what was that? Right, it's conundrum. Yeah, I stopped buying off Kickstarter a long time ago for many reasons. Okay, so where's it gone? Lost the page. There it is. So, as before, it's all the web tools. Like you got, so not only can you modify stuff on device, but you can also there we go, modify stuff on the web. But and this is, well, it's in there. People with the latest firmware will be able to. But I don't know what they're going to do with it. I made this for my purpose, right? Where but I've left it in there, and for now, whatever. You have a typo in the version check error string. You misspelled version somehow. What? Where? In what string? You mean in the log that comes up in a log? Huh? Where did you see version check? Oh, right here. Build version. The latest version. Go back to the edit. Where? I don't get it. What? You have a typo in the version check error string. Oh, very on. Oh, here, right. Oh, God. Okay, thanks. I don't spend a lot of I'm not overly careful with my stuff that doesn't really get shown. Whatever. No, that's not an eyesight thing. It's a yeah, live coding. I said I wasn't going to code. Anyway, let's get out of that screen. So adding screenshots. So what it does, it'll take whatever's on the screen. So if I say take new screenshot, so it all happens behind the scenes. You might hear it ping in a minute. Where was the sound? Where was the ping? What happened? It didn't work. What have I broken? Oh, there we go. Oh, that was probably from an old session. Yeah, that ping should have made this refresh. Why didn't that refresh? Something's going on. It's something to do with me stomping on my data. I know what it is. Oh no, because I didn't erase Flash, so the partition layout is wrong. Okay, it's here. It can't. Right, it can't write the little fs. It can't write to the little fs partition. Okay. Anyway, the point was, all I wanted was all I wanted was a way to get some screenshots that I can put on the website, right? And I had been taking photos, and taking photos of the screen looked terrible. So I started with building just a thing that captured the screen and saved it as a PNG, right? And then I realized, obviously, that the gamma and the color layout on the screen is totally different to a PC one, right? So when you get the image and you look at it on your computer, the colors look wrong because the gamma and the color settings of the screens are totally different. So then I started playing with some tweaking of the color values, and the next thing I knew, right, over 24 hours later of just working on the tool, oh my God, what a rabbit hole. I added a whole bunch of Photoshop algorithms for doing saturation, for doing the gamma and black and white levels, doing white balance. It's got white balance, temperature and tint, contrast. And these are all the Photoshop algorithms, right? Because they're public. You can download them. You can look at how they do all their things. Actually, a lot of them, some of them are the Affinity ones I'm using instead of the Photoshop ones because they're a bit lighter. Anyway, quite expensive in terms of this CPU cost to do them. But yeah, I added this insane tool because I went down this rabbit hole just because I wanted a screenshot for the website. Yeah, so, but I have to reformat. So that's why my country's not working. Interesting. That's why all these settings were wrong, because the partition file's not there. The little fs partition isn't there, which means it also couldn't write the save data. Interesting. It's only because I tried the web flash tool. I need to get that going. For some reason, it's not writing out things properly. So let's talk about batteries. Let's talk about batteries and shipping. So I don't know if anyone who's bought a SQUIX'L internationally, as in who have shipped to international, is going to get them. Like I've taken the biggest gamble on shipping out all these SQUIX'Ls because I could have, in my worst possible case scenario, I could have them all destroyed by customs at their destination and not have them returned, not get my money back, and have to refund everyone. That's my worst case scenario, and it actually is. I mean, the chances of that happening to every order, unlikely. But is there a chance that's going to happen to some of the orders? Unfortunately, yeah. The next worst case scenario is that they reject them and ship them back to me slow boat, because they always come back slow boat, right? The slowest possible way, and it could take 3 to 5 weeks for me to get them back. And I still don't get my money back for the shipping portion, and I still have to refund the customers, right? So here's the thing. I've been working with a few people at Australia Post, and I will say they have been trying to be as helpful as possible, right? So I'm not dissing these individuals, right? They were really trying to help me out. But in general, and this isn't just an Australia Post issue, it's the state of the world issue. But no one knows what the rules are for shipping items with batteries. No one knows. So Australia Post publish a per country thing. So let's forget about batteries. Let's talk about just general restricted items. It's all about restricted items, right? So like, you can't send dead animals through the post. You can't send drugs. Like all the things that are restricted entry into another country. So it's less about what can I ship, and it's more about what will the destination country allow in the country and what will they reject. Okay. Australia Post will ship my SQUIXL'd with batteries in them to any country I want to ship them. They will ship them. They will not reject the products with batteries in them. What they can't do is tell me which countries will accept them and which countries won't. They say that's up to me to determine. I have to do all the legwork to find that out. Now, my argument to them is they are the Australia Post. They are the post company for Australia, right? They have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of lawyers and legal people employed, right? They have teams of hundreds of people that work in their international shipping department they deal with international shipments and dealing with customs and dealing with goods all the time. And they claim, Australia Post claim, that tracking individual countries' status on whether they will and won't accept batteries and all the conditions to do with it is too much work for them. Okay? It's too much work for their teams of hundreds of people that are employed specifically for these tasks, but they think it's okay to put it back on me because it's not too much work for me to do as an individual. What insanity is that? What absolute freaking insanity. So, customs stopping exports, but there's typical limit on export electrical waste and other stuff. You're welcome to do that, raise a PR if you want, Life and Cycling, about that. Yeah, that's a whole different thing. Is it another government body that supports it from an exporting? No, it's so. Australia Post list, they have a link to every country's restrictions page buried on their website. You go to sending, then you go to international, then you go to another page for information, and then all the way on the right hand side, hidden, is 3 little dots, and you click on that and it takes you to a little menu that then has a link to the country's restricted or import thing, and you go to it and the information on there is outdated. It's outdated, it's wrong, hey Quindor, and it can't be trusted. And they admit it because they say it all changes too often for them to keep it updated. So all they do is they don't even write these documents or whatever. They just put on those documents what the countries give them. So for instance, they list that America absolutely will not accept any product in any way, shape, or form that has a battery in it, including phones, tablets, computers, you name it, cameras, watches, nothing. And we know that's not true. We know that's not true. It's not real. Like, America will accept certain things if it's categorized properly and shipped properly, but they say America won't accept anything. Clearly wrong. Anyway, can be fines for shipping with the battery that don't comply with the dangerous goods requirements. Right, so here's the thing, right? My stuff is not classed as dangerous goods. So there is a minimum, so there is a threshold for anything with a battery, including just shipping batteries by themselves, right? But there is a threshold of, I think it's 100 watt hours, maximum of 4 cells, or 2 batteries with 2 cells each, right? And if you're at that level or under, it's in any country, it's not classed as a dangerous good and doesn't need any type of dangerous good declaration. Okay? What it does is it falls under the UN 3418. 3481? 3481 maybe. Hang on. 3481. Right. You see this baby here? It's this. You mark it as 3481, and that indicates that the item is under that threshold. Okay? Now, here's the interesting thing, and there's so many interesting things here, right? Why this is completely not straightforward in any way. Any country that subscribes to that standard requires that sticker to be added to the product, right? Including Australia. Australia subscribes to this, that their Road and Transport Safety Authority, whatever it is, blah, 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 is a whatever. And so within Australia, you must legally put that sticker on any product that you ship that has a battery of my size. Yeah? But according to Australia Post, that's not true. According to the law, it's true. According to the government regulations, it's true. But Australia Post don't put that on their website anywhere. They don't list it. And the only place that they've even mentioned it to me as a requirement is the US. But if it's a requirement in the US, they say I can't ship anything to the US, even if it was a 1 milliamp hour battery, a 1 milliamp hour battery, okay? I still can't ship it to the US. But they say I need to put the sticker on when I do. Okay, so I've shipped everything with stickers. I don't know which countries subscribe to these charters and which ones don't. So worst case scenario, I just put the sticker on every international package, not the local ones, because Australia Post said not a problem, and they've been delivering them all. But I'll put it on every international package. Now, the problem with that is, if it's not required, all I've done is waved a red flag, right? So for the countries that they go, hey, we're not going to scan it, we don't care, whatever, they may scan it now, and they may have a problem with it because I've put the sticker on, because they don't know. Because no one can tell me which countries need it and which ones don't. You'd think Australia Post would. You know, they've been in this business for a long time, but no, they can't. So, it gets better. I had to ship all of the product standard international post, even for the people that ordered and paid for express. I still haven't got around to getting in touch with everyone to let them know that and ask them if they want a refund for the difference in shipping or whatever. Because here's a nice fact that is not listed anywhere on anyone's websites, and that is, no, the first fact is that we do know is that you can't ship batteries via courier. Meaning, like, I can't get DHL to pick up a box that has any type of batteries inside it, right? Our lights at work, I had lots of fun discussing your own sticker with our shipping department when we had to send them for service. Right, yeah, it's Well, the UN3481 sticker makes it actually really simple because it clearly means this battery is under the minimum risk factor, right? And to be fair, 100 watt hours, my battery that I'm shipping in SQUiXL'd is 5.5 watt hours. It's 5.5 watt hours, one cell, one battery in one product in one box. It can't be less than the minimum of that, right? Like, you know what I mean? It can't be half a battery. It can't be half a cell. And it's 5.5 watt hours out of 100 maximum. So should be safe anyway. And it's off. It's in a product that's off, and it's packaged well enough that it can't accidentally turn on, which are all the requirements, which is why I went to such an effort with the boxes and the packaging to ensure that's the case, right? So you can't ship a battery via courier. DHL won't pick one up. They won't ship one. They won't even pick it up from me and drive it next door and deliver it next door. UPS won't. None of the courier services will. Now, a lot of people don't realize, but post services, most of them have a courier service as well, right? So I can ship something via standard post, I can ship it via express post, and I can ship it via courier service post, right? Which is a door-to-door thing, which, you know, you pay extra for. And so international post has the same thing. Every country will not accept any type of battery with their courier service. So that's a gimme, right? But they don't specify if standard or express post is a problem. And so it turns out that some countries, what's called the last mile, which is the, you know, I ship it, it goes overseas, goes through customs, gets to the postal service. The last mile is whoever delivers it to the person, right? The final leg. A lot of countries, if you ship express, the last mile will be delivered by courier, which means they'll reject the package at the very last point before it gets to the customer, and it'll go all the way back to me. Even though it went through customs, got approved by customs, went through the postal service, got approved by the postal service, gets all the way to the guy delivering it, and he will refuse to take it because it's got a battery. So, which countries have this problem? The only countries that the Australia Post could give me a guidance on is Brazil and some parts of the USA. Okay, which parts? Which states? We can't give you that list. You'll have to go and find that yourself. So what does that mean? That means I can't do any express shipping because I can't take the risk. I don't know what countries. What countries do last mile, right? What happens, you know, a lot of postal services, if they get busy, they hire contractors. And those contractors might come from a courier service. And then the courier service says, no, I'm not going to deliver it. And so rather than someone else delivering it, it just gets sent back to me. So I had to cancel all the express post and ship everything standard post. And now I only offer standard post. And I hope that they will get there. DK, Post, Nord don't have that problem. Okay, good to know. Doesn't matter. I still can't risk it. Yes, Andy Mouse, please speak to the king on my behalf. I'd appreciate it. And hi, by the way. You should definitely speak to the king and tell him he's doing a terrible job. So, batteries in 2025, no one can freaking answer the question, can I ship it, can I not? Yet, I can order boxes of batteries from China that get delivered to me, boxes of them, like 100 cells in a box, not packed very well, and no problem, even though no batteries are allowed to be imported into Australia. So check this out for a conundrum. Here's a conundrum. I asked Australia Post this. So I say to them, are batteries allowed to be imported into Australia? The answer is absolutely no. I said, even with the UN 3481, they go, no, you can't import batteries into Australia. I go, okay, cool. So answer me this question. I send something to a customer in America. It gets to customs. Whoever in the chain goes, no, we won't accept this product. It's got a battery in it. We won't accept it. You've declared on the paperwork, I've declared on the paperwork, for whatever reason, if the package can't be delivered, I want it returned to me. Yeah? What'll happen? And they said, well, the package will be returned to you. I said, but you just told me products with batteries cannot be imported into Australia. So how is the US going to send it back to me in Australia when they're not allowed to send it to Australia because it's got a battery in it? But they said to me, but you designated to have it sent back to you. I go, but it's illegal to send it back to me because we don't accept batteries. And they went, oh, interesting. We don't know. We'll get back to you. So an hour later, I get a phone call, and you know what their answer was? You ready for this? Do you want to guess what the answer is? The answer was 50-50. What? 50-50. You may get it back, you may not. 50-50. What the fuck? What response is 50-50, you might get the product back, you might not? Based on what? Really, a coin toss? Did I say coin toss or coin toss? What did I just say? It's not an import, it's a return, is my guess for the answer. Doesn't matter, not allowed to bring batteries in the country. Like, oh my gosh. So, my Wednesday to Friday last week, I formed an ulcer on my ulcer on my ulcer. By Friday at 3 o'clock, I was packing stuff, ready to ship. I had no answer from Australia Post, and I was this close to cancelling all the orders and just end-of-lifing the product.
Alan Madsen says don't hey sell mobile phones in or.
Dude, stuff with batteries is imported all the time here. And just like it's imported all the time overseas. It's like everyone just goes, oh my God, batteries, too hard, let it in, whatever. I don't want to know about it. Like, but the law is the law. And I have this thing where, what happens if I ship 10 products to the US and for whatever reason, 4 are stopped by customs and rejected and 6 get through? How do I solve that? If I solve it by challenging US customs, does that mean they'll block all of my stuff for the future? Because they'll check everything? Or will they then turn around and go, oh, okay, well, we'll let those 4 through? It's too late by then. It's already been returned to me. I'd have to reship it. And then when I say to Australia Post, so you say I can ship to this country and it gets rejected to me, do I get a refund? Do I get my money back for the shipping when it's not delivered, when you say it will be? And the answer again is 50-50. You need to put a claim in and you may get your money back and you may not. And I'm thinking to myself, why am I making products with batteries and shipping them? I did say coin cost, didn't I? Yeah, I'm just so worked up over this. Oh my God. Like, I keep questioning why I'm even doing this and shipping something with a battery. I can't ship it without a battery. I'm not prepared to ship it without a battery. This is not designed for self-assembly, right? I mean, I know a lot of you are smart people and skilled people and you could install a battery, but it's designed to work with a specific battery only. It's got to be a specific size and thickness, right? Otherwise, it will not fit in the case. So that limits your battery choice. Like, you got to buy a specific battery, ship it to China, and then have them ship all over the world without a problem. Right, at double the price, and then everyone gets a tariff or whatever. It's just a disaster. Like, I opened up a can of worms with Australia Post, and I had like managers. But it's not a joke. It's honestly like the only country that gets away with shipping batteries anywhere in the world without a problem is China. When other people try to do it legitimately, they have problems. And when like part of me was thinking, just don't put stickers on them and just hope that most of them get through, because no one bothered checking. But that's also a dangerous way to do it, right? Like I want to make sure I'm following the rules, but no one knows what the rules are. And I'm sure I've upset a lot of people at Australia Post with my flippant comments about, you guys need to do your job better. Like, it's just so whatever. Right, the quality of the batteries that come out of them, and so yeah. Anyway, super frustrating. But I decided I'm just gonna. This could be an absolutely financial disaster for me if I get products returned. For every SQUIX'L that gets returned, that basically kills me on 2 or 3 that I sold, right, in terms of my profit. And so this could be a real financial disaster for me if I have any or a large portion of products undeliverable. Okay, I just got a message from one of my apps that says the move tool it can't perform its action because it has items that can't be moved with an OK button. I'm pretty sure I'm streaming and I'm not playing around with this app right now, but it popped up a window anyway. So anyway, batch 1 and 2 is gone. I got rid of batch 2 was supposed to ship end of this week, but I got
Alan
them all done.
Madsen says try to ask them how the mobile phones come into the country.
It'd be pointless. Not just mobile phones. Oh, so by the way, for everyone that's got us getting a SQUIX'L, and thank you so much to all the people that have ordered one already. They're all being shipped as a digital smartwatch. What? Well, you have to classify what the product is, right? And because it's got a battery in it, you have to classify it as a product that contains a battery. But there is no listing for electronic product with battery, right? You need to be quite precise. But there is, what would you classify a SQUIX'L as? You think, oh, well, is it just like a little tablet, computer tablet? No. So if I mark it as a computer tablet, so when you pick a category, right, the HS code, that HS code then has...
Chat has disconnected.
Oh, be quiet. Has a list of restrictions and prohibitions per country. My concerns about CE mark and then you read C. I don't do anything with CE or red or anything. That's a whole different conversation. And the answer is, do I have any concerns? No. And it'll be what it'll be. UN is exactly that. Don't confuse custom tariff. What? Customs tariff numbers with UN dangerous goods circular. Who was that for? I don't know what that comment was for, Johnny, if that was for me. So you need to, when you ship the goods, you need to specify the country of origin, which is Australia. There's no, like, I design, manufacture, and assemble them here, right? Doesn't matter where some of the parts come from, right? They're done here. Hey, Peter. Hey, Jonathan. Calculator app. This is a pocket. Right. You need to ship it with something that lets them understand what it is in terms of what its risks are, okay? If I miscategorize it, like if I chose something that didn't specify that it had a battery inside it, that's a problem. Like that puts me at fault, right? So, everything you classify it at has a list of restrictions and prohibitions for different countries based on what that is. So, for instance, if I mark it as something, whatever it is that notifies them it has a battery in it, then it comes up as a flag for them to check that it's got a battery, and does it conform to their import guidelines for the battery, which is what the UN 3481 is, right? And there's a couple of other things it could be. So as a digital smartwatch, there are 3 possible things it could be, right? Radio, battery, and there was one other one, I can't remember what it was. If I mark it as a as a computer tablet, which is probably a closer thing of what it is, like a little portable computer tablet, there are 7 possible restrictions, including import restrictions for encrypted blah 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 blah, and import restrictions for sale of military and like all that, you know what I mean? Like the list of potential red flags is long. So I chose digital smartwatch because it had the least. It jammed again. Sorry, folks. Oh my god! I just got this, and it's the filament's jammed again. 1 second. Okay, fourth time. Fourth time on that reel, it jammed. Unbelievable. Forgot what I was saying. Right, digital smartwatch only has 3 restrictions, and it was the least problematic one that I could choose. Right, there were other things that I could choose, but they didn't flag the battery, and that's a problem. If it gets stopped, and I chose an import thing that didn't specify battery, then I'm trying to illegally get something into the country. I can't afford. I'm running a business. I can't afford to do that, right? But the restrictions are different for every country, and it's just insane. Like I couldn't, whatever. But isn't the classification only for the tariffs customs? They're 2 different things. You're missing the point. You still have to declare what the item is at customs. And if customs don't agree what that item is, it's not just for tariffs. It's also for import restrictions. Okay? Like, I'm sending a dead animal through the post in a box, and I'm claiming that it's some garments, it's some fashion wear. So hopefully customs will go, oh, fashion wear, yeah, no problem, let it through. And I've got a dead animal through the country, right? The declaration is a lot more than just tariffs. It's am I legally allowed to bring that item into the country or not? The sticker has nothing to do with customs. The sticker is for the transport people to understand that there's a battery inside. It has nothing to do with importing the product. But if I put a sticker on it that says there's a battery in it, but then I declare it as something that doesn't have a battery, red flag, right? So they go hand in hand anyway, right? They're for separate things, but they're, I think Asian countries, novelty item or toy, right? Something that goes under the radar. It's a toy, novelty item, let it through. Don't check it. But they do check it sometimes, just because I've never had an issue with having batteries shipped to me. I'm sure there are people that have. I'm sure there are people that get caught. Think of how many items come into America every day and how many they could possibly check, right? So their system will automatically. I've had things flagged incorrectly. So I had a situation overnight. I woke up to a very an email from. I'm gonna. This has nothing to do with her or me, so I'm gonna mention this. Hopefully, she won't mind. I got an email from Limor from Adafruit, they're going through some tariff issues in the US at the moment. Yeah, no doubt. So my last shipment that I sent to them, someone along the way redeclared the items as aluminium products from Australia and charged Adafruit a 25% tariff fee on them, on my products. So I got an email basically saying, hey, why did you mark them as these things? Like, why would you do that? Like, we have to pay a 25% tariff on them now, and we have to now put up the price of all your products. And I'm thinking, what? So by the time I had a chance to reply, like I got up, I saw this in bed, got up, had a shower, came into work. One of the other people from Adafruit had already replied saying, no, I just looked at Sion's invoice and he's clearly marked the HS code correctly on the invoice. So someone at DHL has misentered them, right? And I'm thinking to myself, no, that's not right, because I enter them in the DHL thing. So I replied saying, sorry this has happened. Absolutely, there's something else going on here, because not only do I have to provide the invoice, I have to submit the invoice to customs during the booking process for DHL before I can finalize the DHL booking, right? It's already sent my invoice off to customs for clarification that has the HS code on them, right? But I also have to, when I book it, manually, every line item that I'm shipping have to enter into the system with an assigned HS code, which I do and did, and sent them a screenshot of that showing the correct HS code that I entered. So the invoice has the correct code. The DHL entry screen that has the correct code, but somehow someone at DHL, whatever, has charged them for a different HS code and 25% tariff fee on it. So this is the importance of the HS code, not just for tariffs and for importing and for everything else, but it's a paper trail the whole way on what the item is. So I'm hoping that she's got everything she needs to push back and not have to pay this thing. And it's absolutely not something that I did and not something that they did. I don't understand how it could possibly have happened. And I think it's nefarious. Like the data I entered, which I went back to the entry and was still there, and the data on the invoice and everything that was submitted is correct. So for it to have been changed and a fee charged, that doesn't sound like an administration mistake to me. That sounds like something more nefarious. Like, I wonder how many companies in America right now are being charged tariffs for things that they shouldn't be, as some form of rort or scam, possibly. I don't know. I can't imagine how much stress and frustration her and her team have been going through since all of these crazy tariff things have been happening. She's been doing videos about it on YouTube, showing some of the tariff bills they've been getting for their products. Like, it was a $37,000 tariff bill on something. It's definitely, like, the amount of man hours they must be spending sifting through every single thing, trying to determine which ones of these fees are legitimate and which ones aren't, would be an absolute nightmare. So, I really feel for her. I'd shut down my business if I had to do that. That's just crazy. But that just goes to show that even when all the paperwork is correct, things happen. So I need to make sure that everything I'm shipping overseas is correct. I just can't take any risks. And what I can't, the biggest issue would be, warning, the task was cancelled. I'm getting all these Windows pop-ups from my apps. Anyway, I'm going to leave that one. I can't take the risk that I do something wrong and I get a flag against my name in the US customs, and then every single product that goes into the country from then on gets a magnifying glass put on it. Not that I do anything bad, but I don't want my products held up, and I don't want my products rejected for no reason, or from some zealous customs person because I've had a red flag against my name. I need to do it properly. But right, they can fine you for false declaration, but they can also reject you and flag you and then not let anything else come in anymore. Someone just posted in here, Johnny just posted 2000, according to the Open International Postal Union, below is a list of 38 designated postal operators approved to accept. Okay, sent me a whole lot of countries that are approved to accept. Are these all? Right, and that's from 2023. I appreciate that, but so the UK have updated their battery restriction rules 3 times in 2025. The most recent time was in May, this month. Batteries are less of an... Well, I don't know, because I don't even know if you can ship them on a boat. I mean, I'm assuming you can ship them on a boat, but I don't know what the off the boat to the, what do you call it, is. Is it a truck? Is it a courier? Like, you know what I mean? There's just... And no one can answer those questions. I need to go and query that per country, which I'm not going to do. Like, I can't do it. Anyway, so the bottom line is I'm shipping to countries... I'm putting a sticker on, I'm declaring them as a digital smartwatch because at the end of the day, they tell the time. And, you know, if someone wants to stick it to their arm, they can. It's a bit big for a smartwatch, but it has pretty much identical functionality as a smartwatch. So that was the easiest thing for me to declare it as, that doesn't really, that it doesn't hide anything to do with the product, right? Has it got a radio in it? Yes. Has it got a battery in it? Yes. Is it a touchscreen for digital smartwatch? Yes. Does it tell the time like a watch and whatever else? Yes. Can you get on the internet with it or whatever, like, you know, wireless? Yes. All those things, it's a watch. Right? Until they add SQUIX'L, until they add, like, you know what? I was trying to find personal, you know, like Palm Pilot, personal organizer, electronic organizer, blah, blah, blah. There were things in there, but they didn't trigger the battery thing. And I was concerned about not triggering the battery thing and sticking a battery sticker on it. Anyway, I've literally destroyed so many brain cells on this. And ultimately, I had to decide, am I shipping or not? I really wanted to hold off batch 2 to see what happened with batch 1, see which products got delivered, which ones didn't. But see, you can't specify it as a product. You got to specify it as a category. There's no Newton Palm Pilot. There's no, you know, personal portable calendar, whatever. Like, it's so weird and obscure. Anyway, I didn't have time to wait because everything's going standard now. If they were going express, then the ones to the States would be there by this week. And I would know if it's going to get into the country or not. I was going to know if there'd be an issue or not, at least in the US. But because they're going standard, some of the shipments only left on yesterday. Some of them probably haven't even left till today, even though I shipped them on Friday, because standard mail, right? So I don't know what's going to happen, and I'm trying not to stress over it, and I'm deliberately not sitting there checking the tracking and all the products to see which ones. So Mr. England, I'm concerned about yours. There was 2 of them in the box. Oh, that's the other thing I did, is I restricted to 1 only. So the rules on the it's nothing to do with the air freight. It's to do with who delivers it at the end. The issue is how it gets to the person at the end. So there are some...
HMS says don't panic. In the least of you problems. Grinning face.
Well, you'll be the least of my problems because I'm sure you'll be quite reasonable if there's an issue and we can discuss it and work out a plan. And I guess that would be true with any of the people who have bought one that I've, you know, chatted to before and on Discord or whatever. But there are a bunch of people that I've never heard of before that have ordered a SQUIX'L, and, you know, some in Europe, some in America, whatever else. Flipped its moon. And I don't know who they are, and I don't know what's going to happen, and how reasonable they're going to be, whatever. The issue isn't the air, how it gets over there, Johnny. The issue is how it gets delivered at the end. So there are apparently a bunch of states in America that use DHL to deliver the last mile for express. But no one can give me the answer of who, because it's not a America thing, it's a per state thing in America. And Australia Post said, yep, they can't give me that information. So it's just not worth the risk. I'm not going to risk having a package get all the way there and sent all the way back. You don't even get a choice. Like, it's not like they go, oh, hey, we can't deliver this thing. You need to put it back in the system and get someone else to deliver it. They just return it. They reject it. It gets marked for undeliverable, and I don't even know it's coming back to me till it's already coming back to me, right? So I don't want to risk it. I'd rather it takes a week longer and everyone gets their product than not. So as they start getting delivered, I'm going to feel better, I hope. Well, I'll feel better because they're being delivered. If they're not being delivered, then I'll feel pretty bad. And I still question, so what's happening next with it? Well, batch 3. So I've got 10 units here that are ready. I just ordered 100 screens. So my limitation is screens, although I'm now out of PCBs, out of panels. I'm doing I've done a design tweak. No one panic. There's not a functionality change. So the orientation of one of the cables on the board makes it really easy to get the haptic wires for the haptic motor caught when I'm assembling it, and rips off the wire off the haptic motor, which sucks because I don't know that's happened until I've assembled it, and then I boot it and it doesn't buzz, and I go, shit, that's another one. I've done about 7 I've destroyed so far. So then I've got to pull it apart. I've got to, while the screen's attached, because it's too late by then, I have to very carefully remove the wires from the haptic motor and resolder a new one on without damaging the screen, and then reassemble it again without getting it caught. Yeah, pain in the ass. So wasted a lot of time on this. So I've made a couple of design changes where I've moved where the haptics is on the board, and I've rotated one of the connectors around, so the speaker connector, so it's going the opposite direction so that those wires don't push the haptic wires into the way of the standoff, which is what was happening. So that's the only change to the PCB, and I've put the new logo on. There's no functionality changes, there's nothing else. But I have to order those. I haven't ordered them yet. I only finished them and checked them yesterday. They'll order them today, but I'm out of screens. I've got 100 screens I've ordered. They'll hopefully be here next week in time with the PCBs. So I need new PCBs, new stencil, and then I can manufacture more. But I built all of the boards I had on Monday, and what I have left is sitting over there, but I don't want to release them because I want to wait to see what happens. Because I don't know, like so Matt had a problem with his one I shipped to him. He got his first, and for whatever reason, his battery wouldn't charge. The battery worked, as in he could run it off battery, but it just wouldn't take any charge. Bizarre. And I had been checking every battery before I put them in, like with the voltmeter. So then I started, as soon as I found that out before I shipped on Friday. I sent him one a couple of days early, because I think I mentioned, because I wanted to make sure that, I mentioned to someone, I wanted to make sure that when the package arrived, I wanted to see what state the package arrived in. I wanted to see what state the box arrived in to know if I was going to have potential issues, Did things move inside the box? Did the box get crushed or whatever, right? Hey, Technobliss, how you doing? How do you find those Sinhu standoffs? How do I find them? I find them good. How do I find them, as in locate them to buy, or how do I find using them? In terms of using them, they're good, but I had to do a custom footprint for them for the solder paste, because their guides for the solder paste, I don't think it added enough. Right, it didn't add enough paste, I don't believe. And so I've not had one issue with them on any SQUIX'L, but that's using my new paste opening. I did have issues with the RGB touch on them with the old paste opening, that probably about 10% of the standoffs I placed weren't on there well enough. And, you know, it could also be a combination of, you know, the paste and the wetting and the reflow, whatever, but they're pretty close to the same in terms of PCB size and whatever. But they're good. They're good. Right. Sorry, I got distracted. So I'm worried about what's going to happen with, you know, if any get delivered to people and they have a problem with the battery charging or something. It's not really something that they can, not everyone can open up and change the battery themselves or whatever. I don't want people opening, they're going to have a hard time putting them back together again. It's not a mess of wires inside, but it's like it's designed to be sold. This is how it's designed to be sold. It's not a kit. It's not designed to be a kit. I spent a lot of time working out how everything gets put together, and to stay together, it can be self-serviced because there are screws on the back. I don't like glue it together and prevent people from doing it, but you shouldn't have to. So I want to have some spares here just in case, but it means I can't really open batch 3 until I get my new screens and stuff. I don't want to sell those and then have to replace someone's SQUIX'L because of a dead battery or something and not have one to send to them. I'm hoping that's not going to happen. I'm hoping it was just a one-off with Matt. But as I said, checked every battery that's gone into them with the voltmeter, and then every unit that I've shipped, I've had it sit here on charge at least long enough to see the percentage go up 1%. But that is such a time sink in terms of, you know, I got to manufacture it, I got to test it, I got to flash it, and then I have to sit and watch it and make sure that the battery charges to feel confident enough that the battery's going to be okay. I don't know how his battery didn't work. And I've not found a bad battery since then. So I'm also then worried about, well, maybe, you know, is it anyway getting damaged or anything during shipping? You know, was there something to do with scanning that affected it? I don't know. I've never seen anything with a battery before. I would assume no, but I don't know. So I have a lot of worry. I don't know what's going to happen. My regret levels right now of making SQUIX'L, pretty high. Pretty high. Not making it available. Hopefully in the next, 2 or 3 months, I'll look back on all of this and I'll just laugh. I'll go, oh, what was I worried about? My default reason is solar flares. Yeah, it could be. You found the same? Okay. Yeah, I don't think it's not specific to the Sinhu ones. It's just like I compared to some other land layout, for the stencil for some other product, other brand ones, and they're all about the same. So it really depends on your paste that you're using and the wetting and the reflow. And for me, it was just easier just to make the openings bigger, make them go in further to make sure that there's enough. And I've had no problems with them, which is good. Yeah, crazy. So, honestly, insane. I just feel like it's insane. Like that, I do this to myself just to make my life hard. It's like making and shipping a product like this should be a no-brainer. Like in terms of the shipping it to someone. So I really hope I don't get penalized for this. I was going to open up a new toy today on stream. I accidentally added something to my shopping cart when I was ordering some stuff the other week, and it's pretty funny. I've been wanting to buy a proper one of these for a long time, but I could never justify it, and they're really expensive still. This was really cheap. Got really good reviews. I don't know, but I got myself a stream dock. No, not a stream deck. It's not a stream deck. It's a stream dock. I can create my imagination. How exciting! I can create my imagination. So I've not opened it. Like it came like it's loose. I wanted a stream deck or something, like a proper one, on my desk to be able to switch stuff, whatever. But honestly, I can't even get my hands to it. Is there a battery in it? Yeah, there's probably a battery. I don't know. It's a stupid, these simple things, which is someone else's job to know. Such a struggling issue, taking heaps of time. I know. It's really annoying, and I shouldn't have to learn about every country's import rules and stuff. And it's not like it's even easy to find. Yeah. But you had the frustration flow right out of 65, but did you end up successfully having the stuff shipped? I'm opening it. I don't think I'm going to set up now, because honestly, my head is still pounding. Look, it's not been opened. It sounds like this might be good, but apparently the web interface for it's not great. So it's not a review. It's got an A to C cable, and that's it. Little manual, and this is the unit. What I found interesting about this, that's a really full-on hinge, is that you can also do audio levels with it. Although I'm not sure how well that's going to work. And there are 3 USB-C connectors on the back. Sorry, 3 USB 3. So 2 A's and a C, and then this one here goes to your PC. And so it's not. I don't know if it does Bluetooth HID. I think it just does keyboard HID. Like, I want to be able to ship batteries all the time. I want to be able to ship a battery inside my tiny watch, so people don't have to add a battery. And like, that should be possible now. Like, if this can work, what works great? Have you got one of these? Is that what you're talking about? If I can ship a SQUIX'L to people with a battery classed as a digital smartwatch and it works okay, then I should be able to then put batteries inside Tiny Watch and ship a Tiny Watch with a battery. And that would be much more preferable. I could then, people don't have to open them. And it also means I don't have to print the cases the way I do. I can print the cases in a way that don't have to be openable. You know what I mean? I can, print them in one piece or whatever. I can glue the screen down. I can whatever. Like, you know what I mean? I have more options. So you've got, okay, cool. You've got one. So I want to kind of. So there's no on button. So I'm assuming you just get power and that's it. I'm gonna. Okay. I'm gonna plug some power in. I'm assuming if I just plug it from the PC, that's enough. I just want to see what happens. Will it light up? Oh, it does. It lights up. So there's a screen behind it. Oh, keyboard setup assistant. Interesting. Good. So I was curious to know how they did the things. It's just one big screen with plastic over the top, a grill. I wasn't sure if they had little screens, right? Clearly not. How to take the plastic off. So there's 2 layers of plastic. Okay, that's one. And that's for the bottom. There we go. So I'm just pushing buttons. Just to see nothing happening. I mean, it feels sturdy, maybe nicely built. I'm assuming I have to do the setup assistant first. Your hotspot USB device cannot be identified and will not be usable until it's identified. If your keyboard is working properly and you have an additional USB input device connected to your computer that is not a keyboard, you may quit the application. Identify, right, no. Actually trying to match it to a keyboard. So I'll have to do some search on how to set this up. I mean, I'm sure there's something in the manual, but, you know. Right. Download and install the Stream Dock app. USB hub dock is not recommended. What? Okay, you can't do anything without the app. Nice. Okay. Oh, Windows only. Oh no, there's a Mac. Wait. Okay, there's a Mac. Also have a Stream Deck Medium 15 button. We'll have an XL Stream Deck. Take for the other two devices. Install the software, and it'll come to life. Okay. Should I grab some software now? Do I want to do this live? I always worry about doing things live. Okay, 1, 2, 3. .vip Mac. Really? I always worry about. Let's do the whole experience. Oh, it just wants to download the app. Allow. Am I downloading malware? Is it malware, Alan? Am I about to just destroy my whole computer? I hope not. You can control everything. Everything. Can I control yours from here?
Super chat!
Matt, we'll do it live. Yay! That's your third super chat. Woohoo! Sorry, it's just getting old now. This is a still downloading. Very slow server. It doesn't go up as much as I'd like. The angle, that's it. Okay. Great, I need another USB port, but I got myself one of these as well. But this was from Amazon, not from, because I'm always out of USB spots. So many peripherals. So I got myself a Novu brand, whatever, USB-C to all sorts of stuff. Most of it I don't need. I don't need HDMI, but it's got, and I don't need the card readers because my Mac's got that, but it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 USB 3.0 ports, a USB 2.0 port, Ethernet, which I don't need, VGA, which I don't need, and then it's got a PD port as well. So I'm now going to have lots of USB ports. That was an Amazon buy. I really wanted to get like a good calibrated one or something, but they're just so expensive. This was cheap. If it doesn't work, I can chuck it out. Chuck it out. Okay. 700 megabytes for this file, and I have to install it. Oh no. This is I never do stuff like this. HDMI for a screen near you or microscope, maybe. No, it's for output, not for input. It's not. They're not inputs. Oh, you're using it for KiCad. Interesting. Okay. Probably a bit bulky for me for that. What are some one for mini laptop, neat little devices? You mean like this? Yeah. Oh, I've got one. I've got a small one. It's got like 3 ports on it. I'm going to remove the 3-port one and put this on as well. And but the 3-port one, it's only got a cable this long, so it hangs off the back of my monitor, and it puts a lot of pressure on the cable. This one's got a nice long cable. There were other ones that were probably a better array of items on it, but again, they had a really short cable, and I needed a long cable so they can sit on the bench. So, yeah.
Alan Madsen says, "Oh, extra screen at your microscope so you can read chat."
Oh, right. Yeah, I could do that. Whoa, loading. Wait. Okay, the app's loading, but I can't show it to you because it done a. Oh, here we go. Now I can. Oh, it did. It just woke up. Holy shit. There we go. So this is the app, and it just did this. Oh, can we see? Hang on, let me see. Go back to here. It just found it, and it just put all those things on it. Wow. But I don't have to show you that now because you can see what on the screen through here. I'm just going to put that up there. So if I click Google, I'm just curious to see what happens. Oh my God. Okay. Interesting. It opened up a Google page on my Safari browser. I thought it was going to open up Chrome, but whatever. Anyway, you can also control OBS with it, so it's well integrated. Yeah, I saw all that. I read up about it a lot. There was a couple of other models as well that were either smaller or they had, more buttons or less buttons, whatever. This was reviewing really well. So like you can click on OBS and these are, oh, it actually just changed it. No way. So I don't want to click anything on here. I'm worried about breaking my OBS thing, but I also want to just, I want to click on something and see what happens. Will this mute my thing? Hello, 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 hello. No? Okay. I don't know what they're doing. It's not really, I'm sure I have to actually connect it to OBS Studio. Hook them all up. Anyway, yeah, it looks interesting. I'll have to work it all out at some stage. And I want to set it all up. So right now, like if I want to change a scene or something, I have to go and find my mouse on my desk and then go over to OBS and bring it to the front and then find which scene I'm looking for. Like here, I'm looking for a DSLR, whatever. And then when I find the right one, then I click on it, right? But I'd like to not have to do that. I'd like to be able to just use this thing. If I can find a place on my desk that I can get to it. I'm sure I'll love it. Like I've wanted a Stream Deck for a long time. Definitely feel like I could have used one for a long time. But they're just a lot of money. And it was a fluke I saw this. I didn't even know that you could buy them. Didn't even know that they were around. So it was like a spammy email I got that had something like this in it. I thought, what the hell is that? So I went searching. And it was cheap. It was like $60 or something delivered, or less. No, it was about $60, I think. They are rotary encoders. I don't know what you can see that the arrow's changing on it when I do it. I don't know what it's supposed to be doing, but yeah, they got a really nice feel, and they're I don't know, they're plastic or metal. Might be plastic, but they actually feel nice. They're quite clicky, and they're push button. But you need 2 hands to push it because you got to hold it when you push it. But that's pretty cool. Sorry, I'm just looking at the different. Let me just go back to here. Oh no. See, trying to find the right one. I'm just playing around, looking at if I click on a knob, what it. Okay, rotate, left command, input, rotate right, press right. So you can just set up anything. I can see hours lost doing this. Total hours lost. I like that though. It's got info in there. So it's got the date. It's got the weather in London. Okay, I'm sure I'm not in London. Title disabled. Okay. City of London? No. Enter the city. Melbourne. Which Melbourne is it? Theme switching. Luxurious and gorgeous. Simple and modern. Luxurious and gorgeous. Really? Okay, so it's cloudy at night, 15 degrees. I don't think so. It's 8:14 in the morning, so that's obviously the wrong Melbourne, but it doesn't tell you which Melbourne. Clear 31. No, it's absolutely not 31 in Melbourne. Cloudy 19. Okay, let's see if we can get the, if we get the time right, maybe we can then get, if I could type, my fingers are frozen. Oh my God. Oh. What? Fine. Sydney, Australia. That'll do. Theme. Oh, okay. Default. 8:15 in Melbourne. So it's got that right, but the weather one isn't using. I'll say I'm in the Docklands. 3 degrees in the Docklands. Wow, that's cold. So May the 21st? It is. Oh, so this one can switch. I guess it covers a lot of different things. It's pretty cool. Yes, New York's 8:15 now. Lol. What? What about the stream? What will it do? Okay, I'm going to stop playing with that now. There's a lot of plugins as well. Really? Am I? It's going to be a. How much of my time and my life am I going to lose on this? Yeah, they've done a nice job. Like everything visually looks really good on it. Like I got to say, nope, that one. You know, like they got, you know. Yeah, I'm impressed so far. I'm impressed with the build quality, and but it's not. Whoa, that just brought up my chat, my messages. Interesting, and that just brought up my email. And that's not bringing up my calendar. What's that going to do? Memo note. What is memo note? Please set. I don't know. Okay, is that that's an app that this comes with? I hope not. What's that one? Yeah. Well, okay. That must be part of the
HMS says suddenly stream stops with a random button push.
Oh right. Okay. No, I'm trying to be careful that I don't do anything on that stream. I really want to know what that button does. What does that button do? Oh, that's just switching. Ooh, look at that. Brightness, contrast, blah, 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 blah. Google Maps. Check all those out. What is Drummer Man? What is he doing? TV. What was that one that had? Oh, here we go. Is it like for a Photoshop type thing or something? TikTok. It's pretty cool. Yeah, they're not changing my brightness brightness at all. I'm going to stop playing. Is that using... I don't think it is. Hey, Wagon Loads. No, it's not. It's using their own software. Apparently someone... I saw someone got the Stream Deck software going on it, or did they get this software going on the Stream Deck? One of the two. I don't know. I'm not planning on doing a lot of hacking around with this. Like, for the moment, I just want to be able to get like 4 or 5 views set up for OBS. Need to print a base for the stream. Some weight in it. Yeah, it's the screen angle is it's I guess it's okay, but it's way too light. It's just moving around. There's no feet. Oh, hang on. Is that no? Yeah, it's smooth, slippery on the bottom. So it's just sliding around, which I'm really not digging. It you know, even my, look at this, like this doesn't even slide. This is great. You know, but I've got rubber feet on the bottom of it to stop it from sliding. This thing's like crazy. Super glue it to the disc. Oh, Jesus. So that's been sitting on my floor for like 2 weeks. Haven't get around to getting it. Yeah, I know the Stream Deck doesn't slide around. Look, this is fine. I'll put something on the bottom of it. I'm thinking maybe Bamboo should add a toggle to enable the backup filament option for stuck stuff too. Yeah, the problem with that is I need to have 2 lots of filament loaded of the same type, and which means I lose a spot on the AMS, and then one of the filament reels just sits there for a long period of time, potentially not being used. So, but yeah. If I'm here, I know that it's jammed and I can fix it. The issue is, as I said earlier, when there's a 6-hour pause between, you end up getting a wrecked print with all your magnets. You could make a magnetic base for it. I could. Do you know, I'm finding little magnets everywhere. They're, seriously, like, they're just stuck to everything, everywhere. Downstairs, upstairs. It's crazy. NH3000, hello. Is there protective film on it? Looked like, I thought it was film, but I don't think it is, because it doesn't come off. Well, I just clicked something and maps came up by accident. I should unplug it. Let me just unplug it for now. I felt like it was, but I just tried getting it off and I couldn't get it off. Maybe there is. Oh, hang on. That's more like it. Yeah. That was actually hard to get the edge off. Oh, there we go. That's grippy. Grippier. No, wrong screen. See? Wrong screen. Oh, get in front. There you go. Can even push these now. Much better. Okay, saved. John! Hello, John! Here late and briefly. Okay, I'm going to call you briefly from now on. Happy Moo, John. Just showing my my new mirror box Stream Deck knockoff. We just worked out that there was a film on the bottom that was making it slidey, but I took it off. Is it multi-touch? I have no idea, but why would you need it to be multi-touch? Whoa. No. It's not multi-touch. It's pretty cool. You can't see what's happening, but my desktop's playing a dance. So can't wait. For those who are on a Mac, you'll know what all this is, but like when you can go like this and it does that with your apps, lays them all out so you can see all your windows. And then you can't see that one. It's on the other page, other screen. Anyway, I was just making them all dance. Woo! Hours of enjoyment I'm gonna have just pushing buttons. Oh my god, like I need the distraction right now. Yeah, I know Windows does it too. Well, okay. Last time I used Windows professionally, it didn't do that. Right? I'm sure all operating systems do that right now. I'm sure they do. And I'm sure there's a dedicated button for it. Right? And I don't know who started it. I wasn't trying to imply anything. But accessibility.
Alan Madsen says, was that Win98 or Windows Me?
The last time I used professionally was I think it was Windows 7. I'm trying to think back. Windows 7 was the last version I used. Maybe. Or was it XP? I don't know. It's hard to remember because I would have still had Windows boxes around at the time, but I wasn't using them. Other people were. Like I'd been on a Mac for years by then. I'm trying to think what it was. The last one I used where literally I had Windows, like I had a Windows computer in front of me before I moved to my Mac. It might have been XP. No, not Vista. Just make a version, like a Fedora version of Xcode to build Linux apps. Xcode's great. You're all missing out. All you stupid... that would have come out wrong. That's what I meant. All the people using the stupid Visual Studio bloat. Anyway. Okay, folks, I am going to end the stream here because I'm just speaking absolute rubbish now. Once these 4 cases are printed, I hope that they're okay, because otherwise I've just wasted a whole bunch of filament or whatever. This is VMs who run old versions of Simplicity Studio. Simplicity Studio! Stop! No, it's okay. And some ESC configuration things. Yeah. Look, I've got a Windows machine downstairs, I'll be honest with you. It's connected to my laser, and the only thing that's on it is Lightburn. And that was because of my old laser. But my new laser, that I haven't even spoken about, because I'm halfway through making a video about it, which is taking forever, because I'm distracted, I probably can go back to using a MacBook Air for that and get rid of that one Windows PC. But I do have a Windows PC here, but it doesn't get used for anything other than Lightburn. Nothing at all. But yeah, Lachlan's laser has Lightburn on Windows. I use that too. Yeah, it's there was depending on the controller, there was some just USB driver issues with some old FTDI chips that were being used in the controllers and Mac compatibility, and sometimes it would send through and sometimes it wouldn't, and oh, my filament's coming today, yay. So at that point in time, so I had that notebook I bought, that secondhand notebook I bought to do network tuning that wasn't so great. The app I was using was Windows only, and it just wasn't so great. So, and that's what I ended up putting on the laser. So that's the only Windows box I've got. And that's not true. I lied. My Juki server is on a Windows, like a little tiny Windows box that's in my rack that I can remote access, but all it's doing is running the Juki stuff. Again, dedicated just for that. Everything is Mac. I know. I'm just a sheep. I'm an Apple sheep. Whatever. Not really, but anyway. I have so many computers. Don't even get me started on the 50. No, it's not 50, but it's at least 12 Raspberry Pis that I've got lying around. I mean, they're all computers, but so many computers. I've got computers coming out of my computers. So I do everything I can these days to not buy more computers. And I try to use whatever I've got in as many places as I can to utilize old tech. Mac M1, 2, 3. So I've got a Mac Studio M2 Max in front of me with a studio display. I splurged because I've got an LG 5K. Now you can get better 5K screens, but the LG 5K wasn't the best screen I ever bought. It's got some burn-in issues and stuff. And the webcam on it's pretty crap. And so when I got the Mac Studio, when I got the Mac Studio, I thought I'm just going to get a studio display and I'm done. But I waited forever to update that. I was running a 2019 iMac, Intel iMac, which, was awesome when I got it, whatever else. And I pushed that to its limits, right? But I couldn't upgrade it, whatever, because it's, I'd already maxed out the RAM in it. You can't update the SSD in it. And it's still sitting here, like it gets used sometimes. Michael uses it when he comes in. But yeah, and even like at home, I've got an M2 Max. I bought at the same time MacBook Pro, but I suffered with my 2018 MacBook Pro with a busted keyboard, and 2 of the 4 Thunderbolt ports were broken on it, and I still kept using it because I refused to spend money on more Apple equipment at the time. And so I used that for years beyond I should have, And same now, like I'm probably won't be upgrading again until there's an M10. So no plans on spending money on hardware. I'm just not into it as much as I used to be as well. I don't need the fastest. It was more of a problem when I was on the PC side. Xeons came out, then dual Xeons came out, so I had to buy a new motherboard and get some dual Xeons, and then this came. Well, that was always a race to get the fastest computer, right? But I've never really suffered from that from the Mac side of things. I've always used my Macs for considerably longer. AJ's got that Intel trash can. Yes, I know that you hated touching the Mac at the start, didn't you? I tried my 2009 Retina MacBook Pro 10 days ago. Wow. Last few years running my streams. Yeah, they do. They last a long time. I'm telling you what, though, I've got Yaz's old 13-inch MacBook Pro on my soldering desk now, so I can access KiCad and whatever. Can't remember what year it was, 2016, 2015 or something. It's got an SSD. No. Wait. Yeah, it's got one of those really old, slow SSDs. But that was before they got that super speed bump. And oh my God, it just takes forever to launch applications. I'll open KiCad, open a project, and I'm just sitting there waiting, the bouncing dock for no, it's an Intel, an Intel with a really slow SSD. It's an i3 or an i5? Might have been. It's an i5. Anyway, just takes forever. The bouncing dock. Oh my god. So I've got the LG, the 5K, like the one that came out forever ago. It was I bought that. Bought that to go with my iMac. They're the same panel. So that was, I don't know, however many years ago. And so I've got two 5K screens I'm using. John's got one big, massive screen. Might have done that now, starting again, like if I didn't already have 5K screen. But I've got that, and then I've got the studio display. The studio display is by far insanely incredible screen. Like one of the best screens ever that I've ever seen. Not the XDR one, not the big, not the 6-inch XDR, which is the normal studio display. The camera, I'm a bit just like what I'm viewing right now. You can definitely get better external cameras. They did improve them with software a bit. There were some issues at the start. The reason I retired, I needed a new version of Companion to talk to OBS, and it wouldn't run. Oh, interesting. Of an iMac 2014, I'll convert to a 4K screen. Yeah, I'm just not into modding PCs anymore. I used to be. Better than a large screen TV. Absolutely. Like TVs are the worst thing to use for a computer. They don't have the pixel density. Like you don't want a large screen like a 4K large screen. You want a small 4K screen. Like you want a small, like the LG, sorry, the Apple XDR, like it's a 6K screen. It's 6K because you need the pixel density in the size. I don't want big, I want high res. And TVs are big, not high res. You know, like you can't get an 8K TV this big. You got to go that big to get an 8K TV because they don't do the pixel density like a computer screen. And also, I still don't understand why PC screens don't do it. Square pixels, folks. Square pixels. Pixels are square, so screens should have square pixels. Like, really? Like PCs are still not using the correct aspect ratio for a screen. And when you do it in Windows, it's doing it fake. Sorry. Yeah, OLED's great, but OLED's not great for large screens still. For smaller screens, notebook size screens and stuff, absolutely. OLED is superb. But, you know, Apple's panels, I mean, they're not just a standard panel. Like, they do a lot of work to make their blacks black and whatever else. But, yeah. Yeah, nice. Do you get them because of the Q for Quindor? Are they Quindor OLED 4K 32-inch? But again, the problem is 4K is not native for the Mac. It is for Windows, but the Mac native is 5K or whatever the next step down is. And so they need to be the right pixel aspect ratio. Like there are people who are doing 4K on the Mac, but they're just compromises to do that. It just doesn't look anywhere near as good. Yeah, OLED's nice. Yeah. Wow. We are talking about expensive hardware. Screens prices have gone down a lot though, I've got to say. Like how much are those your 4K OLED screens, Quindor? Like I remember when I got my first, so when I had my animation studio, for those that aren't aware, before I did hardware, I had 2 game studios. But my first game studio was actually an animation studio, VFX animation studio, for like 13 years before we pivoted to games. So I've been in the tech industry for a very long time. And so I remember when LCD screens, they were called LCD screens, right? When they first came out, flat panel screens, oh my God, they were so expensive. And I had some very expensive broadcast quality CRT screens on. I had like an editing room, right? With a really, $100,000 editing machine that we used to edit all of the animations and stuff for TV and for film and or whatever. And I was upgrading the machine. I thought, you know what? I'm just going to do it. Because they look awesome. I'm going to get two 14-inch 1080p LCD screens, right? Oh my God, they were like $6,500 each. They looked awesome, although in hindsight, the blacks were never good on them. But at the time, picture quality was way better than a CRT. And, they were just like, my clients would come into the edit booth, the edit room, and they'd go, oh my God, those screens look amazing. Like, they were 14-inch. They were tiny, but they looked incredible, right? Oh my God, so much money. And now you can buy a 32-inch 4K screen for what? $500? $600? Okay, Black Friday. Okay, $900. Right. Okay, still 4K OLED 32-inch screens, $900. Unbelievable. Yeah, they were TFT, LCD TFT screens. Oh my God. So much money. To be fair, we had a 14-inch, what's called a broadcast monitor. So it was a Sony, it was a color accurate monitor, right, for doing broadcast, for TV. And it showed you exactly what the legal broadcast colors were, and it would show you, it would pattern out anything that was too hot for TV or whatever. Like, it was a professional broadcast thing. It wasn't a TV, broadcast monitor, right? $39,000 for a 14-inch broadcast monitor, just to ensure that your colors didn't blow out. Because what used to happen on television, I know you guys don't even care, if you submitted an ad for TV and you blew past their saturation levels, you couldn't put whatever color you wanted on television, because depending on the TV, it would come up the wrong color, or it'd blow out, or it would, back on old TVs, it could damage their TV, right? And so there were laws, like broadcasting laws and standards that you had to adhere to. And so you had to ensure that your ad or whatever it is you were doing were within the broadcast spectrum of colors. And the only way to do that, like, there was some software solutions that kind of showed you, but you needed to know for sure. The only way to do it was with a broadcast monitor. Oh my God. And you could get bigger at the time. You could get 17-inch monitors for like $80-something. Whoa. Yeah, that was an expensive business to be in. You think hardware's expensive? Try doing TV and film back in the day. Whoa. $6 first 14-inch CGA screen. CGA. Rocking those 7 colors. I love those broadcast color accurate monitors. So amazing to see when I go into Dad's. Oh, what would your dad do? Matt? Was he in the TV biz? When I bought a widescreen CRT for CAD use, it was like $3,500. I bought a 21-inch CRT. That was my last CRT I bought, a computer screen, before I went to flat panel. And that was like, it took 2 people to lift it almost. I couldn't even move it around by myself. It was huge. It was a ViewSonic. Was it a ViewSonic? Can't remember. Beautiful screen, right? But 21-inch CRT. You played 3 weekends a month first to get a TFT. Wow, everyone would have loved you. Dig out some of my work and show you. I actually found it on an old demo reel a little while ago, and I put it on for the kids, and they were looking at me going, "What are you showing us this crap for?" I'm going, "Thanks, I made all this." "Oh, really? Oh, it looks crap now." I'm going, "Okay, thanks." And anything else? What? So you can't play Pong this way. BTQ7. Cool. Okay. Vision Master Pro. Oh my god, yeah. Yeah. Look how old we are. Look at old and yeah. I just ran out of Reflow Master Pros. Yes. Shit. I have more to build. I got more here. Oh, I got these ones. I need to put. I just got to solder headers, solder screw terminals on them, and those boxes on the ground. That's 100 Reflow Master Pro screens because I'm out. I've got no screens left. But I just sold my last one in stock, so I need to now make these. Yay! Look how awesome we are that we can even remember these things. That our brains are still able to go back those many years and remember them. Yeah. That's crazy. Okay. I'm going to go. Thank you all for joining. It was just a nothing stream today. But, yeah, for anyone that wants to, that is making hardware, that wants to make hardware, that wants to make products, blah, 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 don't put batteries in them. Just don't put batteries in them. Just make them powered off the air. No lithium, no batteries. Don't do it. You will just get no sleep. You'll be stressed. You'll have an ulcer. I'll let you know how it goes. Chris, before Mr. Elan, before was talking about like flipping the desk, rage quitting. I'm telling you, if I get a message saying there's been a problem with any of them, I'm going to flip the desk. Flip the desk. No, Bluetooth's not a problem. Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, radio, that's not a problem. Battery's a problem. Patch for a Nokia phone battery. Yeah, no. They're 100% not designed to have a battery inserted. Sorry. It's, yeah, anyway. Batteries suck. Feel your pain. Oh, no, batteries are great. Shipping batteries suck. Sucks. Anyway. Did yours arrive in one piece, John? I hope it arrived in one piece. With a USB power port. Well, it's got a USB power. Just not a USB port. What? $300? What? How did you ship it? Like, the problem is, yeah, couriers won't take batteries. But it would have been, how big were the batteries? Voicemail is usually quite prompt. Thanks, Andy Mouse. Appreciate it, mate. Love your work. You just put a smile on my face now for the rest of the day. I can't wait till I hear what the king leaves. A message for you. Does he call you Mr. Mouse? Hello, Mr. Mouse. Or does he call you Andy? It's for the truck. Again, boxes of items. Jeez, had to get them. So I think the courier jumped in his car and drove there. Right, $1,500. Wow. I'd definitely check that work first before you implement it, wagon loads. But yep, cool. Sir Squeak, Sir Andy Mouse. Okay, goodbye everyone. Have a great week. I'll speak to you all next week. Thanks again to all of you that ordered a SQUIX'L. And if you're waiting for one, soon. There'll be a bit of a delay. But once I start arriving, I might release the next batch. We'll see how we go. Okay. Bye, everyone. Take care.